Here we go, here we go, here we go. And welcome to the movie people, and it's the movie and food people. Because we do like a few snacks every now and again. And the live stream just. So I managed to fix the sound, but then I can't. It won't let me go to live because it's stuck on private, and I cannot figure it out. I've been trying for, I don't know, seems like hours. So I thought I'd just do this as a show, and then it will go on automatically. And I tried going to Facebook and doing live there, but it wouldn't let me do that. And then I tried going to X, previously known as Twitter, and it wouldn't. I think you had to pay money in order to do something there. So we do have today. My wife got given a Dalek by her brother. I thought that was pretty. That was kind of cool. I'm not a big Doctor Who fan. I think that some of it is good, and I like some of the Doctors, but I think that the show is that I'm a Blake Seven fan. That's basically kind of what it is. But I think that Terry Nation he's very very good, and he created the Daleks, and he created Blake Seven. And I think the Daleks were pretty. It was a pretty good. What would we say? It's like they were. Because you got to understand that these things did not have much of a budget, and they had to come up with this stuff. I don't know if they gave more money to Doctor Who than they did to Blake Seven, but I don't think so. I've seen there's actually a movie that's made about the first Doctor Who, and yeah, they were put into like a studio where the sprinkler system went off if it got too hot in there, and so they it was like, they weren't. Yeah, I did a 38-minute live broadcast on 2 nights ago, and the whole thing was unusable, and so that was unfortunate. But we've got the Terminator out. The Terminator, I think, was the Terminator 2 was a big moment in special effects, and if you were, I mean, I was only, let's see now, I must have been 12. I think I must have been about 14, 15 when I saw it, and it was a big thing for if you were that young and you saw Terminator 2. That was big. That was big. Because I'd quite like to do a show about the history of special effects, with like a timeline. The first CG, sort of like really good CG effect was in the young Sherlock Holmes in 1985, and then in 1990, so I think it's 1992, you get the liquid Terminator for in Terminator 2, and then you get Jurassic Park with the dinosaurs in 1993. And I think after that there was a kind of a, I don't know if we could call it a race, but there was a uh, the the next thing on the list was trying to get realistic water and realistic fire, and that's when you get the perfect storm. But I don't know what the date is on that. But that's where they suddenly they could do at least they could do stormy sequences at nighttime. But it was yeah, it was the perfect storm. And then I don't know. This is why I would like to. I'd like to look into it and do maybe a show on it, or or not. I'm not sure really, but I did want this to be live because live is kind of special, and it's put it to private, and then when I finish talking, it sort of uploads it to YouTube, and then and that's when it goes yeah, it goes onto YouTube, and but I like interacting with the people in the chat room. You don't know who's going to appear, and there was a man just the other night there. He was from um, Scotland, and he was from Dundee, and I just found that was that sort of made me smile, and it was kind of special actually. It was kind of special. So I figured out that the sound it has to be turned down, and you can't boost the decibels, which I was, which I didn't have a problem doing that before, but it seems to have a problem doing it now, and it's very complicated. There's a lot of different variations of like buttons that you can push, and it's very complicated. But I just wanted the sound to be not crazy bad. Uh, we have Godzilla here, who um, actually I went into this on the 38-minute video. I think that's where I did it, and he was this was a gift from my in-laws, and I had stated that if uh, they ever got a Godzilla, then it had to be the original. And my wife was there, and she managed to get them to get the original. And yeah, I don't think it's gonna, but I don't think it's gonna focus in on it. Um, yeah, the original Godzilla, which is a kind of a I don't know. I tried watching it once. It was a bit it was I don't know. It didn't seem to be all that engaging for me, anyway. But it's meant to be. It's meant to be a bit of a classic, maybe. Although you don't really hear. I don't know if you hear people talking about it very often. I think that the new one that they did was really good. Godzilla minus one. That was actually pretty good. That was uh in recent times, you know. Uh, I would say one of the more better movies. Yeah. Um, and of course, Star Trek is I d- I my dad used to watch reruns of Star Trek, and then it wasn't until the Sci-Fi Channel actually they did a competition, and it was like vote. Well, maybe not a competition. It was like a vote your favorite episode, and there was something like 15 or 11 episodes, and then they broadcast them, and they were like the sort of best of the best, and that's when the love of Star Trek was, I think, um, the original was born for me, And I would say to people, don't. The motion picture is uh is a terrible movie, and don't start there because you might be put off for. It might just put you off completely. It's even Leonard Nimoy. He said if you're gonna do another one, then kill me in the next one, and that's a whole other. That's a whole other story. But uh, it's uh, it's an interesting story though. So I'm just gonna maybe end it here. I've been going. Yeah, now it's and I'll see if this has worked or if the sound has gone completely uh gaga again. But I think it should have worked. So I'll see you until the next one. Okay.